Max made some headlines over the last couple of days saying that Kawhi Leonard, is more clutch than Kobe Bryant. So last night he was held to 2 points, no field goals in the fourth. I know that was just one game. But how clutch do you think Kawhi is as a player?
I think Kawhi is very clutch. I don't agree with Max saying he's more clutch than Kobe. It's hard to, gauge, one run right now or a handful of years over, a body of work that Kobe has given us and has proven. But I like where his mentality is at. He realizes this team is going to, win or die with him shooting the ball. And I like how aggressive he is. This is one of the teams where they know he has to, play great for them to have a chance, but he's been playing great. Like I said, this is one game. Milwaukee did what they were supposed to do. They're supposed to take care of home. Toronto has another chance to steal game 2. And if that doesn't happen, they still get to go home.
Max, you want to get in?
Yeah, well, I'll say this. I agree
hold on, Max.
with. Yep.
Max, I have something to tell you first, before you go. I was with Shaq last night after the game, and Shaq listened to your points about Kobe in terms of being that difficult shot maker, et cetera, and he agreed with that. So he heard your argument, and he wanted me to let you know that he agreed. Where he disagreed with you is when I brought up the fact that Matt just brought up. You are looking at the Kawhi Leonard that you see now, or the Kawhi Leonard you saw a couple of years ago, particularly when he got undercut by Zsa Jr. because of how he had looked that season. You're not taking all the years of greatness that Kobe has put on display into consideration.
Wait, you're right, and Matt's right.
That's what can't be ignored.
But wait a minute, you're right, and Matt's right, because Kobe played way longer than Kawhi. I can't compare Kobe's career to Kawhi right now. What I can do is compare Kawhi till now and Kobe at the same age till this point in Kobe's career. And when you do that, you'll see that Kawhi has been better under pressure, at least according to the numbers. I'm not denying Kobe was unafraid under pressure. But my point that Shaq agreed with, and Matt, this is my point. Kobe might have been the best bad shot maker of all time. So let's say you see a dude and they're defending him perfectly and there's a double team, the whole thing, and it's like most dudes, if they took that shot, it's a 10% likelihood that they make it. Kobe makes it 30% of the time. That's 3 times as good as it should be. Kawhi just finds himself a high percentage shot. So you go, okay, he hit that 45% of the time. You're supposed to hit it 35. It's only 10%. But the point is, I don't care about how hard it is. How many times did you hit it? When you look at the numbers, late and close, in playoff games, at the same point in their careers, Kawhi's are better because he's just getting better shots.
Well, I think, too, first of all, Stephen A., did you ask Shaq what he was wearing last night? Because I was a little confused. Was that a fly suit or a tablecloth?
I did not, because when I was with him, he took that ridiculous-looking jacket off.
And he laid it on the table so you guys could eat dinner on top of it. No, but back to your point.
I don't know what the hell it was.
I think, Kobe's numbers could be a little strewed because early on in his career, he had a lot of growing pains. He was on the biggest stage at, 18, 19 in Utah where he shot the 4 air balls and came back the next summer a monster. So I think his numbers could be a little different because he had done it at an earlier age, and in
a less efficient era.
Absolutely.
Like Kobe's greatness gets downplayed by the metrics because he was not playing in as efficient an era. I understand that. I'm just saying Kawhi is a cyborg.
Kawhi's great. Kawhi's great. Very efficient. To me, I think people forgot how good he was. I think the whole year off, everyone else got better, and they forgot about Kawhi. Battling him a lot when I was with the Clippers, and they were in San Antonio in the playoffs. We went to war. He, to me, healthy, is the best two-way player in the game, top 3 in the world. So he's very efficient. I love everything he does. I think he's proven himself, but I don't even think he's more clutch than Kobe.
Stephen, I have a question for Matt, because you were always the type of dude. You were never like the primary scorer on a playoff team.
I just guarded those guys.
Right, you guarded them. Mm-hmm. But you were the type of dude, there's some guys you could just see their personalities. It's a pressure game. Who do you trust? Matt Barnes doesn't care about the pressure. Like, Matt Barnes will be fine under pressure, right? There's some guys like that. And there are other guys where you can see they're either front runners, they feel good when they're crewed up and they know they're better, then they can hit the big shot. But what about when it's even? Or what about when their team is behind? Can they do it then? And I've had my eye on 2 guys in these playoffs in the Western Conference. James Harden, who came up short again because he wasn't the MVP when it mattered most.
Right.
And Steph Curry, who I've always felt has been less than his best when they've needed him the most. Although now maybe he's doesn't mean it always has to be that way. These guys write their scripts right now. I'm interested in your thoughts on that, on that stuff as it relates to Harden and Curry.
Well, it's interesting. I think Kobe and T-Mac tackled it early in the season. As great as James is, the type of scorer he is, the run he's been on this year, we've rarely seen anything like it. But is that going to win in the playoffs? Is one guy dribbling the air out of the ball, taking the majority of the shots, going to win? Yes, he's very efficient, but is that going to win?
So,
and then
Matt,
yes.
if that's the case, who do you point the finger at for the problems in Houston? Is it James Harden or is it Mike D'Antoni because of what you just said in terms of their style of play?
I think it's a little bit of both, and I think as great as James is, possibly the two-time MVP after this season, that evolution of a player is picking and choosing his spots. He's such a talented player that I think he needs to do a little bit more of take some out of Chris Paul's playbook. Get everyone else going because you know you can get your shot at any point in time when your team needs it. Down the stretch, it's James Harden time. But the rest of the time, you got your guys standing around. And then, like I said, as much as he does for the team during the regular season, he always seems to run out of gas in the playoffs because he is the horse for, 75 games of the season.
You blame it on that stuff and not something in him because that's the question. That's the question I have. Like, when you shoot twice in the last 10 minutes of a game when your team needs you.
Can't happen.
That can't happen. No, Kawhi only shot 3 times. That's a game one.
Yeah.
He just carried the team
Can't
through a
happen.
series. We see him big in the fourth quarters. He has a history of doing that. Harden doesn't.
Well, I definitely think this last series is probably going to tarnish his legacy. You had your perfect opportunity. The Warriors have kind of always been a big brother to Houston. And this is their perfect time. Boogie out, KD out. You're at home. Take care of business, and you guys have a chance to go to the finals, and they didn't. And like Kawhi did last series, regardless, they were going to go down whether he had to shoot 50 times or 38 times like he shot because he was their best player. That's what I expected out of James, and he didn't give him that.
No question, a missed opportunity for Houston.
Only
We
thing
gotta
I
go
would
to
say
break.
about that, if he had lost in Game 7, it would have been slightly different. Losing in Game 6 on your home
I
floor
agree.
is what's going to stay with him.
Yeah.